So we'll just submit 2 links. I was able to recover the last.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay. All right, so we just have to finish up this last little bit.
Strengths and weaknesses, right?
Yeah. You want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
I can go first. I feel like one of my strengths is probably friendliness. I don't know, but maybe it's also weakness. I don't know. I feel like I'm friendly when I want to be, and friendly when I don't want to be, and when I don't need to be. I don't know. Like if I'm like around people, I love making them feel welcome, but I don't need people to make me feel welcome. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of weird, but I'm just looking at the thing and trying to come up with that. But willing to try something new. That's definitely a strength of mine. For example, I had a job on campus here, and I was an on-campus plumber, and I love that. So, because my mom, like, we grew up with her, like, fixing our sink and replacing our dishwasher all the time. So that's a strength. Weakness, probably. Let's see. I'm a procrastinator, and that's a good thing and a bad thing. I don't know. For me, it is at least. Is let's see. Probably that I love to take care. Well, it's a strength and a weakness, but I love to take care of other people first before I take care of me. So, yeah.
All right.
What about you?
Strength. Trying to think. I just had to like write a bunch of these for my internship.
Oh, no way.
I don't remember what I wrote. I think a strength of mine is I'm really loyal, and I've learned that about myself, even just like recently. Just like if you like become my friend, like I'm like really loyal and devoted to people. Like I will drop everything to go help someone. Like I will babysit for people even when it's like probably not the best thing I should be like doing with everything. But you know, like even though I have my own kids and I have school, like if someone was like in dire need, I would be like, bring him over here. I'll watch him, you know, or stuff like that. Or even like I've been like thinking about my past like job, like I don't know, I feel like I'm really devoted to my job. Like I will try to exceed expectations. I'll try to, lift the burdens of coworkers or things like that. And I guess that could be kind of a weakness because then it puts more on me and whatnot. But I don't know. I've never really felt like it's a weakness. I don't know. That's something that I've kind of discovered about myself recently.
That's cool.
I don't think I've always known that about myself. Oh wait, no, sorry, I'm like looking at the wrong thing. Weaknesses. A weakness. Oh, which one? Sorry, I'm like the brain. I don't feel like a ball here today.
You're so good.
I think like I'm a procrastinator too. Like sometimes I feel like I really need external motivation to get things done. Like if I learned about myself, like I am not good at being the top leader. Like I work better if there's always someone above me that is expecting me to do like work and is delegating to me, even if I'm still over people. As long as I have someone that I have to report to or even just look to for advice, like I work better that way. Like, and if I'm one of my weaknesses is I'm not good at being like top of the top leaders. And I learned that from like, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Rexburg Roll-In Run.
The what is it?
Rexburg Roll-In Run.
No, what is that?
It was a 5K that maybe did you ever know Lori? Like really short gal. She was in TR. Super fun gal. She graduated maybe a couple years ago.
Maybe. I'm like thinking of people that were, I know definitely RM majors, but I don't know if they're TR. Yeah.
Okay. Well, she's like really short, like really short, small girl. Anyways, she started the Rexburg Roll Run. I think she did it for a project, and then it was like this huge, like, it was this 5K, and she was donating the proceeds to this organization, and you were on like it was supposed to be like you were on a team, and one of your teammates had to be in a wheelchair, whether like actually physically needing to be in a wheelchair or they provided a wheelchair, and a capable-bodied person like was in the wheelchair for the race. And
Okay.
it was just a 5K. And anyways, well, the following year, she gave me all the information to redo it, and I wanted to redo it. And we got like one of the classes, like program management involved, and it was just really chaotic. And I guess I thought, this is their project, they would take the lead on it, and then I think that they still felt that I was the leader, and they kept coming to me, and I just did not handle it very, like, I just didn't know what to do. And anyways, and I just really learned like things that needed to get done. I had a really hard time like categorize, like, thinking during my spare time of things that need to be done for this 5K race. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Anyways, and I landed at so many weaknesses, and I get it, because I had no one to like kind of turn to and be like, well, what are we doing for this? Like, what? I was the person they were coming to asking questions, and I was like, what?
So you're like more of like a follower than a leader, you'd say.
In a way, like I feel like I can lead really well as long as I also have someone kind of leading me. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Because like I worked at the ropes course, and I can lead and I can facilitate, and if I'm in a group, I feel like I can step up and be the leader. I don't know. It's really hard to explain.
No, I think I understand. Yeah.
Like,
it's kind
I don't
of
think
like,
I could run my own business. Does that make sense?
yes.
Like, I think I could be like a manager or, a leader in a business, but I don't think I can run my own business.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Anyways, okay. That was really lengthy in answering my weakness.
You are so good.
Okay, what would be some effective ways of using this information to help your employees? If you had this information about your employees, how could you use it to help them? Oh man, if you had like an accurate, I don't feel like this is very necessarily very accurate. I think the one we took in 472 would be a huge benefit to a manager.
I think so too.
To know these things, because Like, really, that's where I think most, like, confrontations and squabbles come from, is misunderstanding. And we all speak different ways. We all interpret things very differently. We are motivated by different things. And when we, maybe as a manager, assume that they see it the way we see it, it's gonna break loose.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I feel like another way too is if we understand what our weaknesses are, we can almost use that for an example. I know it's not really always in the best situations, but use an example and say, hey, like, I'm not really good at this, but, you know, I guess, like, to make them feel more comfortable. Like, does that make sense? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. And
personalize
I
it.
do
Like,
that a
make,
lot, actually. Like, it's,
like,
and
you
I
look
feel like in some ways it's good, in some ways it's bad. But, like, for example, in soccer, when I was in high school and stuff, and I would be even like one of the team captains and stuff. Some of the girls like in high school, they just get super insecure about how they feel. And for me, I was that girl that wore basketball shorts or like and like t-shirts or sweats like every day to school. And I wore like mascara and that was it. And that was like yeah, that was me. So, but these other girls, they spend so much time after soccer in the morning to get ready, and they'd sit there and like just look at themselves in the mirror and be like, oh my goodness, like this shirt is just looks so bad at me, or like or whatever. And for me, I'd like look in the mirror and like obviously I'm wearing sweats or whatever, and like look like a hot mess, and I wouldn't care like at all. And that's just I was super comfortable with that, and like in fact, I had a hard time even coming to BYUI because I was like I can't wear sweats and basketball shorts all the time. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, I'm going to a Catholic school where I can't, do that. But I would sit there and look in the mirror and be like, guys, I look so good today. Like, looking awesome. Like, whatever. And just be sarcastic about myself to make them feel better. Like, does that make sense? So
yeah,
I feel like if it's done right, especially in a professional situation, you can let other people know that their weaknesses aren't that bad, especially if there's like an employee that's hard on themselves. And I feel
yeah,
like in a helping profession, and a lot of us who do appreciate TR and studying it, we are self-critical of ourselves, especially being LDS, like in women, because we do that all the time. Even though we don't mean to be, like we just want to do good, and we want to excel. So I don't know. That's one way I feel like out of the box
no,
could help, but.
I agree. Um, I think that's a huge thing that a manager can do is, I mean, obviously you have to like designate where the line is, like I'm your superior, but even like in the book, The Anatomy of Peace, they talk about like seeing people as people, and like how the one of his employees would greet the janitor the same as she would greet like other like top employees. She didn't designate herself as above other people, and I think that's something. And when we talk about these weaknesses and strengths and personality types, I think that really can do that for a manager.
No, absolutely.
All right, I think we've kind of already talked about these. How would it help your employees to know this information about you? And then how
Yeah.
does it help you as a manager to know this information about yourself? I think it's really important to know yourself, because you can be aware of maybe situations that might be a trigger for you. Situations like if you do know that you have a weakness in a certain area, and either get better at it or surround yourself with people who are good at that, so that the company doesn't see your weakness.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think, sorry, I was like hearing myself thinking that you were speaking, but anyways, I think another way too is if we, maybe this is what you're trying to say, and maybe I just understand it, but if we understand ourselves and understand our weaknesses, then we're able to see them more clearly through other employees and be able to help them in their situations as well.
No, that's
Um,
true.
so, like, especially if we see ourselves in the employees, I feel like that would be really effective in trying to train them as well, or trying to help them see their potential in becoming a more effective employee, and then also to be able to even somewhat train them as far as upping the ante, as far as rising to the potential of becoming a supervisor or another manager or something like that in the future.
Yeah,
Where they
like
can do.
Sister Greenwood was saying about one of her employees, the guy that liked to talk in the morning.
Yes, yeah.
In that podcast, like she was just saying, if I spent time talking to him, even though that's not her personality type, she realized she could get more work out of him. You know, he was more motivated. He did better work. You know, so that's an example, a really good example of how knowing your employees can really benefit your agency and department.
I agree.
Okay. All right, WPO Section 7, AN 14.
Have you looked at it yet?
Not yet, but I'm
Okay, I
pulling
just
it up.
looked briefly at it. I've at least looked at, so like at number 7 for the client care policies. Like it says, like, it talks about the client confidentiality and the self-administration of medication and the behavioral management. Especially with the client confidentiality, I feel like that wouldn't be too hard. Like, it's basically HIPAA and, you know, rights that a client has as far as being discreet and everything towards, yeah, the information that the client hands out, and then anything that happens in the treatment process.
Yeah. Okay, and then 8 is documentation, progress notes, treatment plans, maintenance of client records, and then 14, public relations, the marketing plan. Okay. So, how do you want to do this? Do we want to split it up again?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm good with whatever.
Are there some that you feel you're more comfortable with?
I don't know. I feel like number 7's kind of easy, but I mean, I don't want to leave you though with like whatever's hard. I feel like,
no, that's
I don't know.
okay,
I feel like
I feel like number 8 for me would be, I think, easier. So that works out good.
Okay, well, I can do number 7.
So if you
take
take
8.
7, I'll do 8, and then let's look at 14. There's only 2 things on here, so program, fact sheet, and marketing plan. Which I don't know either one of those. So
yeah, I don't know either. Street outreach program fact sheet. Yeah, would that be like a statistical report?
Maybe.
Like kind of like what the audience that we're appealing to as far as facts about them? I really don't know. Or just, I guess.
Okay, why don't you take the fact sheet and I'll do the marketing plan.
Okay, sounds good.
And okay. And then we'll just put it on the document on Word documents. And I'm like dying to see the grade we got for the last.
Yeah, I was wondering about that today actually. I was like, oh, I wonder how we did.
I feel like we really I think we did really good because we, compiled everything. I mean, maybe that doesn't really count towards the grade, but I thought we made a lot of progress.
Yeah, no, me too. And like, I don't know, I feel like at least for me, I really try to put a lot into it. I don't know. I just was like trying to be detailed and thorough about it.
Yeah.
And even though I noticed that it wasn't, I guess that, and that's something maybe that we need to change. Well, I know we need to change. I just was looking at some of the other, WPOs from the other groups, and they're very, I guess, like structurally organized to where they're very distinct, they're very short, like to the point. And I was like very thorough and wordy, and it's like more paragraph form, and maybe we just need to be more, I don't know, I guess concise in our wording. I don't really know, but I have a hard time being concise in wording when I like want to make sure everything's thorough. And that's like one of
Yeah.
those things where what we were talking about last time is like there's not really a specific rubric on what the content of the content should be. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. I know. Yeah. As we're going, like, I feel like last week I think I finally made a breakthrough with like picturing this WPO. And this is how it goes every semester with these big projects. Like the first few weeks, I feel like I'm just like floundering, and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. But
Right.
I think we're finally getting on the right track. If that makes sense. I think yours was fine. I need to go back and look through it. You didn't. I don't think you. Well, at least for the. I guess maybe half of it you did bullet points and half of it you did like paragraph form. But I think we need to decide, like, we need to pick one or the other.
Right.
You know, so it flows throughout the whole document. And
well, I just noticed on the one that was super professional, like they had like I can't remember what the other one was called, but it's like a protocol and it's something else for everything. And I was like, oh, that's smart. Like I would have, or maybe that's how we're supposed to do it. I don't really know.
And I think it is. Like, see what I mean? I'm like, I feel like I missed details of instructions. But
really though, yeah. Maybe
I think there's
subscribers will watch our video and give us feedback and be like, yes, girls, like this is how you're supposed to do it. Like,
yeah. I think I saw something about a template, and I'm gonna look at that, and I can't believe I haven't already looked at that. But I wonder if that's. But I feel like for the most of the ones we've turned in, it always says for this one, you won't use the WPO template. So I never looked at it, but
right.
Anyway, I'll look at it and.
Oh, that was with the first one that we did. That's right.
Okay. Well, maybe that'll help.
Sounds good.
Policies
and procedures. Yes. Good. Okay. Well.
Okay. And it's due at 11 o'clock tonight. So.
Okay. Sounds good.
Cool. Good discussion. Oh, here, I'm going to stop the broadcast and then I'm going to talk to you.